Everyone knows about Japanese internment camps during World War II, but almost nobody knows that the U.S. government also imprisoned Italian Americans. And they kept it secret for 60 years. December 7, 1941. Pearl Harbor. The next day, the United States declared war on Japan. 3 days later, war on Germany and Italy. And overnight, 600,000 Italian Americans became enemy aliens. It didn't matter if you were born in America. It didn't matter if your children were fighting for the U.S. military. If you were Italian and hadn't become a citizen yet, you were now classified as a threat to national security. The government moved fast. Italian Americans on the West Coast were ordered to register. They had to carry photo ID booklets everywhere. They couldn't travel more than 5 miles from home without permission. They had curfews. 8 p.m. to 6 a.m., you had to be inside. And then the arrests started. The FBI had been watching Italian American communities for years. Labor organizers, community leaders, anyone they considered suspicious. Now they had the legal authority to detain them. Hundreds of Italian Americans were arrested and sent to internment camps. Fort Missoula in Montana. Fort George Meade in Maryland. Ellis Island, the same place their parents had arrived with hope, was now a prison. Over 10,000 Italian Americans on the West Coast were forcibly relocated from their homes. Fishermen like Joe DiMaggio's father had their boats confiscated. Families were evicted from coastal areas. Entire communities were destroyed. But here's the part that makes it worse. The government knew most of these people weren't threats. They imprisoned them anyway. Because they were Italian. Because they spoke Italian. Because they looked Italian. And unlike Japanese Americans who were imprisoned in far greater numbers, the Italian American internment was kept quiet. The government didn't want to lose Italian American votes, so they released most of them by late 1942 and buried the story. For decades, nobody talked about it. It wasn't in history books. It wasn't taught in schools. The U.S. government never apologized, never acknowledged it happened, until the year 2000, 58 years later. Congress finally passed a resolution recognizing that Italian Americans had been unjustly imprisoned during World War II. No reparations, no compensation, just an acknowledgement that yes, it happened. And yes, it was wrong. Today, most Americans still don't know this story. They know about Japanese internment. They should. It was a horrific injustice. But Italian Americans were also imprisoned. Their rights were also violated. Their lives were also destroyed. And for 60 years, the government hoped nobody would remember. Did your family experience this? Like and follow for more Italian American stories.